So I've been watching the show recently, which is kind of a anomaly for me nowadays. I don't really watch shows much anymore, let alone like movies and stuff. I'll go see the occasional movie, here or there. Like I just saw the Minecraft movie a while ago, and yeah, I've been watching the show. It's called Invincible. If you've never heard about it before, just look up a picture of Omni-Man. You've probably seen this guy before, voiced by the classic J.K. Simmons. The very recognizable voice, and I never thought I'd really watch another show like I have been with this one again, and it's really piqued my interest, more than I thought. I originally started watching it when it first came out. I think it was like 2021, and I watched like the first two episodes, and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting, but I'm not too immersed in it. But I've come back to it since then, and it's given me a lot of thought. Like the show is pretty in depth with a lot of overarching themes, and I want to talk about one of those themes in this video. So the show is titled Invincible because the characters in the show, a lot of them have superpowers. It's kind of like your typical comic book character type superhero show, like Spider-Man or Superman or whatever, Batman. And the show kind of plays into that sometimes. It has like references of stuff like that, and it's a lot different than you would think. It's very cartoony looking, but it's also very gruesome. There's a lot of gore in the show. The first episode, like 4 or 5 characters die like right away. It's pretty insane. But I've been enjoying it a lot, and I just finished season 2, and there's this theme that I've been seeing through a lot of the different characters about like self-identity and character, like what it means to have character. And it's kind of hit me where the title of the show kind of makes sense. So the whole point is that the main character, his name's Mark. His nickname is Invincible. That's his like superhero name. He came up with it, and he's super strong, like his dad, Omni-Man, who's like really invincible. He's like stronger than him. They come from a whole race of like other people. This is kind of spoilers, by the way. If you actually want to go watch the show, I would recommend doing that first. But this is just kind of like a breakdown, real quick, of what it's about. But long story short, Omni-Man comes from a different planet. They're really aggressive, like barbaric, almost type of superhero guys. I wouldn't say barbaric actually. They're pretty smart, but they're aggressive and have little feelings for other societies. And so like Puritanism, they have a lot of Puritanism in their society. And Omni-Man is kind of one of the outliers. He's one of the guys that you figure out over the course of the show, that he's doing stuff that he's not supposed to be doing, and developing feelings for the people that he's with and societies that are lesser than him. And it shows a lot of different parts of his character. And there's a lot of different other characters in the show that describe this feeling of caring and sort of like having morale and understanding of other people and what it means to care for another person. And it really started to hit me that that's kind of the reason of the show name, I feel like, is having an invincible character, but that's not actually like physically invincible, more like they have a really good character to them, a really good way to understand what their needs are as a person, who they are, self-identity, and all these other things. And it's kind of hard to capture all of this in like one video, and also in my brain, just like one idea. But it's really interesting because I thought the show was just going to be about bad guys beating up good guys, and that's it. Kind of like your typical superhero show. But no, it's way more than that, and it's coming to. It's been shown in such a interesting way, in such a like human way. I feel like that's like the overarching theme as well, is that all these people that aren't like aliens, even the aliens themselves are pretty human. They're very in touch with parts of themselves. You discover like Mark, he's a 17-year-old when this show starts. He's growing up with all these different things going on, and you're seeing what it's like to be a human, and sort of like getting in touch with reality and what's happening to you as a person, and it's shown in his relationship with like his mom, his dad, his girlfriend that he has in the show. At this point, I'm at the end of season 2, like I said, so some things could probably change, but it's just it's very interesting to know that it doesn't really matter what physically you are, whether you're disabled or you're like a movie star, like celebrity look. I feel like looks don't really ever describe a person. The saying "Don't judge a book by its cover" couldn't be truer with this show. You never know what a person could be like underneath what they look like, what they're thinking, what they've been through. It could be good or bad, could be go both ways, but people change as well. People change in a way that you would never think they could. You think they would be stuck in their own ways forever, and some people probably are, realistically speaking, but you'd be surprised at the people that do change, and that's kind of just what I wanted to get across with this video. This was an unusual upload. I'm recording really late at night. I usually record in the mornings, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!